to another broadcast of financial intelligence. And that you're joining me for the first time, do permit me to introduce myself. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I am the author of several books, including Billionaire Codes. Global Branding and Marketing, we were on a mission, and part of that mission is to position our clients, employees, and strategic partners to understand, create, and leverage passive income cash flow, build multiple streams of income, leverage smart investment strategies in order to build up generational wealth. And I just want to stop for a little bit and ponder upon the four essential takeaway from that statement. One, we want to help you to understand what is passive income cash flow. And passive income cash flow is where you can build systems that can help you to cash flow divorced from your 8 to 4 job. This will allow more money to come into your hands. This will allow your business to grow in a significant way. And later on, we'll talk about passive income cash flow in your business. We'll talk a lot about franchising. And later on, as we go deeper into discussing financial intelligence, we will show you how to build your brand as passive income cash flow. Along with this, we want you to understand multiple streams of income. And by this, what exactly are we saying? We are simply saying that if you are successful in one income stream, what is wrong in creating a secondary and a tertiary source of income that will allow you to cash flow more and build generational wealth? So we want to help you to understand these financial systems that will help your business to cash flow more. And you as an individual, if you want to learn these systems, to know how to cash flow in these systems, we're going to help you to understand it. So, and thirdly, what is smart investment strategies? I think that smart investment strategies is absolutely relevant in the world today. Absolutely. And I want to say this based on the fact that the federal in the United States of America has shut down. But that shutdown has affected over 800,000 federal workers. Can any of those workers just throw back and imagine? And can you imagine if you had a passive income stream, if you had multiple income streams, and if you had smart investment strategies that can allow you to cash flow, would this shutdown affect you at this particular stage? Absolutely not. So when we look around the world and we see the financial challenges that people are going through, it gives us more incentives and more encouragement to do what we do because we truly want to upscale business development and we truly want to touch and transform the lives of businesses across the world. All right? Touch and transform the lives of people across the world. And the fourth takeaway here is building generational wealth. When last have you sat down and discussed with your loved ones the importance of building generational wealth? We're in the 21st century, and these are conversations that you ought to bring to your family table. These are conversations that you ought to bring to the corporate boardroom. And at Global Branding and Marketing, we have built those content in order to make this conversation, this dialogue easier because you don't have to start from rock bottom. We have done this research over the last 20 years. We have packaged these programs into a 3-year training content, and we're going to be rolling out these contents to you because we care about you. Today, I want to continue our discussion on financial intelligence. We started this conversation last week, and we start to look at how to leverage your brand. And in leveraging your brand, we talk about the art of the sale and how the art of the sale relates to leveraging your brand. Now, in looking at the art of the sale, we introduce you to one element of the art of the sale, and we say that that one element represents seven portfolios. Portfolio one, we say it represents brand visibility. If you have a brand, a product, service, or brand, you need to bring visibility to it. And we explain in last week what is the importance of building those visibilities, and we give you some tips as to how to build those visibility. So we look at visibility, we look at reach, we look at impact. We look at those three so far. And I trust you're going back to look at those lessons, because if you have a business, your business has to be visible. Your business has to reach its specific demographic. And in reaching the specific demographic, your business must be positioned to have impact. But you cannot have impact unless you understand your target market. And we tell you a lot about this. You need to understand their dreams and hopes and aspirations, their needs, wants, and expectations, their lifestyle, culture, and social class, and groups and reference groups. You owe it to yourself to get this information. But we also emphasize that a brand is not only a product, it's not only a service. You may be a brand, a person may be a brand, but when you are the brand as an author, when you are the brand as a singer, when you are the brand as a financial coach or a life coach, you need to bring visibility to your brand, reach and impact to your brand. So we give you some of those ideas so far. Today I want us to talk about how to leverage your brand and cash flow in 2019. We're looking at branding. Now, the first question that I want you to really ask yourself is, what is a brand? Is it just a product, or is it just a service? Or is it just a personality? Is it just a company? Is the company a part of the brand? These are very important questions that I want you to ask yourself, because there are some people that might walk away and say to themselves, the brand is only the phone that the company produces, or the brand is only the book that the company produces. But let us suppose that you produce the phone, and I come to your company. You go to that company that is producing the phone, and you interface with the front desk personnel. And instead of the front desk personnel engage you in a way that inspires you, they engage you in a way that tells you that you are not welcome in that place of business. Is that individual a part of your brand? So these are topics that we want to dive into today, so as to ensure that you understand that your brand is not only the product that you produce, is not only the service that you provide, but is the organization and the organization culture. Now that we have some clarity on that, it's important in building your brand that you ensure that your brand is built in such a way that your corporate culture is deliberately and intentionally built to achieve internal impact, internal influence. And we're going to talk about how to align your company with the right content so its impact internally can be one that truly aligns to motivating the sustained high performers, the highly motivated workforce. So there's two things that you want your brand to have: internal impact, that's internal to the organization, and external impact, and that's external to the final consumers, the general public, who are going to be the players to help you to leverage your brand. On the internal side, you must constantly ask yourselves, what tools and systems are you using in your company to ensure that you have people that are excellent customer service representative, to ensure that you have people that are excellent marketing and branding representative, to ensure that you have people who are top-notch human resource managers, people that can bring new systems to motivate and encourage your workforce, because now you want to sustain high performance, you want a highly motivated workforce. These are all things that represent your brand. It's not only about cash flow in your organization by just selling a product or selling a service. You need to ensure that from the time your employee gets in to their organization, they feel at home. So we're going to talk about that today. So your internal impact, it must be designed to nurture the highly motivated workforce. It must be designed to nurture the sustained high performers. And I know that this is the dreams and hopes and aspirations of every employee. You want sustained high performers. You want a highly motivated workforce. But do we all know how to achieve this? At Global Brand and Marketing, we have spent many years researching this content. And in so researching, we have designed those research into a unique package. This is only part of it that we bring into you to really help you to achieve optimum performance with your employees. All right. So one of the first thing that I want us all to recognize is that very often as employers, we use a lot of words as jargons, a lot of words to communicate and influence our workforce. We would normally say things that your employees are a team. What exactly is a team? Are you building your team just to internalize the brand benefits, the product benefits, and to communicate that information to the public? Or are you building your team to be a team in managing the organization effectively and in delivering quality service to the public? Are you building your team to be an extension of both your internal and external family? What does team leadership and team management represent? I trust that we are not talking about building your team just to cash flow your organization. While that is absolutely necessary, we also need to build our team with a human face where we are showing and demonstrating that as leaders of those teams, we have the right incentives for those employees. And at Global Brand and Marketing, we give you the winning tools, we give you the winning systems, we give you the winning game plan so as to ensure that your team is working hard and smart enough to cash flow your organization, but we are also giving you the tools as the managers, the business owners, as the entrepreneurs, as the leaders, to design the right programs for your employees to ensure that they remain the highly motivated workforce, to ensure that they remain loyal to your brand and to your company. Because it doesn't make sense that you build a team and because your team is dissatisfied based on cash flow, they move to the organization, they move to your competition, and they take all of your knowledge to your competition, undermine your business growth. So, one of the first things that I want us to look at here today is in looking at how we build a highly motivated workforce as a part of your corporate brand, how we build a sustained high performers as a part of your corporate brand, the internal elements and features of your corporate culture reflecting as a part of your brand. The question I want you to ask yourself and seriously consider is, I want you to put yourself in that position of strength, and that is to ask, are you identifying the needs and the wants and the expectations of your employees, of your team member? We often say that let us the team operate like a family. We use words like this as leaders. They're a part of the family. We are now family. What family do for each other? Family support each other. Family die for each other. And this perhaps can be the new corporate norm, the new corporate culture that will break the back on selfish agenda in business development. I do believe that the human face and the human element to building your brand, if we are to take these things into consideration, you can set the stage to build a trend setter organization. And at Global Brand and Marketing, we are all about that. So the first question I want you to ask yourself, and this is where your personal management comes in, are you identifying the needs and the wants and the expectations of your team, of your employees. I know very often you do the interview. In doing your selection, recruitment, and placement, these interviewing is done so you have a sense of understanding as to the strengths and competency of potential employees and employees. But I just want to urge you to let's go deeper than that as employers. So let's go deeper than that. If you want to nurture a highly motivated workforce and to nurture the sustained high performers in the workplace, my recommendations are on spot. We have tested this, we have seen the results it's given, we have done research around the world, and we've seen the impact that these systems can have on business growth, business transformation, business sustainable development, and integration into world trade. So you need to genuinely ask yourself, if your corporate culture is identifying with the dreams and the hopes and the aspirations of your employees. Now, would it make sense if your employees come to your place of work feeling and knowing that you truly care about their dreams and their hopes and their aspirations, about their needs and their wants and their expectations? These are how some of the big Silicon Valley companies operate. I know you're going to say that they have the cash flow, but you don't need to worry about the cash flow because at Global Brand and Marketing, we will help you to build the cash flow systems to give the kind of incentive to your employees. We have new models, new systems that will help your organization to cash flow divorce from your existing business portfolio. The beauty about all of this, the cash flowing of your institution doesn't even have to have anything to do with your bottom line. We can build systems that are unique to your employees that will give them that incentives, that will give them the motivation to function even better in your organization. You need to talk to us to learn these systems. As time progresses, we will tell you more about it. So the first question I really want you to dig into, does your corporate culture aligns to the dreams, hopes, and aspirations of your employees, to the expectations and hopes and dreams of your employees? If not, why not? If not, why not? And I want you to seriously think about this. You want the sustained high performers. You want a highly motivated workforce. You want a workforce that you just have to say, mark set, and they say go for you, and they are serious about going the extra mile to take your organization to the nexus and the next stage of development. These systems that we are proposing to you, I want to assure you, they will work for you. So, the second concept that I want you to consider here is the first one is, does your corporate culture align to the needs, wants, and aspirations of your employees, the dreams, hopes, and expectations of your employees? And if not, why not? And let's talk about that. Now that you know it should be aligned to their dreams, hopes, and aspirations, you need to build a game plan. You need to build a game plan to help your organization to achieve that milestone, the milestone of aligning the corporate vision, the corporate culture, to fulfill the dreams and hopes and aspirations of your employees. You see, just like how you have your business strategic plan that is showing you how to cash flow your organization or how to maximize cash flow, your personnel department, your human resource management department also need to have a strategic plan that clearly maps out a strategic approach to nurture the sustained high performers, to nurture a highly motivated workforce. And I'm saying to you that just simply proposing cash to your employees is not necessarily going to be the breaker of the camel back. You need to connect with their dreams and their hopes and their aspirations. And we have the systems that's going to help your personnel department, that your human resource department, to achieve this milestone. Here is where you're going to get the sustained high performance in your workforce. You see, many organizations, and I know this because of research, you express frustration with your employees because very often you send them to the best training program, very expensive programs, and they go to those programs and they come back and they give you information you expect most of them to implement, but you're not getting desired results. I want to say to you that human performance is not only based on the academic content, it's not only based on the executive management content. The human factors, you must look at them in 4 dimensions. And when you come in, we help you to understand something that we call the psychology of business, because it's important for you to understand human biological nature. That has everything to do with how humans perform. It's important for you to understand human sociological nature. That has a lot to do with performance, human physiological nature, and human psychological nature. I can talk about that today, but that's not the objective today. But these things are profound in terms of how human capital, human resources perform across the board. And if, as an employer, you are not paying attention to this, it means that you're using an old textbook. You're using an old management formula. And if the old management formula have brought you this far and has given you the same results, it will not give you the next results that you're looking for. All right, you can't use old systems to build new ideologies. You have to adopt the right principles, the new systems, the new, technologies, the new methodologies that is relevant to an ever global changing environment. We have done that research and we are willing to bring this information to you. So we look at 2 things so far in shaping the internal culture, which is a part of your corporate brand. Because when your employees go out to join public and they say, these are the benefits, these are the internal features of our organization, they're selling you, your brand, to join public. And that can positively influence public decision, positive public response to your product, your service, your brand, your form, your business, your corporation, whatever you want to call it. So the internal impact in the form of your corporate culture to influence your brand are important features of the modern business model and systems that you must consider. All right, so now you know that you have to consider it, aligning your corporate culture to the needs, wants, and expectations of your employees, your team, the extension of your family. We use these words. We need to ensure also that we are building the game plan to achieve desired objectives. We know that this is our intention, so we don't have to build a game plan to achieve the intention. And we have the great think tankers that will help you to build these plans. So you know it, you build it. Next step is what? You have to take action. But just before I come to action, I want to emphasize a few other things. You need to build a responsive and proactive organization culture. Your corporate culture, your organization culture has to be responsive to human needs and has to be proactive in fulfilling those needs, those dreams and hopes and aspirations of people. And they're part of your team. Do we truly believe that we're a part of our family? So why not? Why not? I'm not saying this only because it is the moral and correct thing to do, but I'm also saying this because if you want your institution, your organization, your firm, your business, your industry to cash flow in a way it has never cash flow, it begins with your human resource. It begins with the human resource. The strength of your organization is only as strong as your human resource. But when you equip the human resource within your organization to have the capacity to function the way they ought to function as human beings, they can significantly advance and propel the growth of your organization. So I want to say this. Every year we have over 110 million people that dies due to stress-related activities. You adopt these systems, you will be significantly reducing stress in the workplace. And I can give you a number of indicators why your workforce is under stress. I can give you a number of indicators why your workforce, their function under stress that is not visible to you and perhaps the entire workforce. It's affecting how they function. It's affecting how they function. Once they're under stress and duress, it's going to affect how they function in your workplace. And once it's affecting how they're functioning in the workplace, you are not getting the best. You are not getting the peak performers. You are not getting a highly motivated workforce. You are not getting the sustained high performers. We can correct all of this by using the systems that we are proposing to you and we are recommending to you from global branding and marketing. There's so much for us to talk about. There's so much of new content that we are bringing to you to help you optimize human performance in order to enhance and significantly enhance the cash flow of your operation. We want to know that you build your human resource in such a way that you can relax and know that your organization is being run the way it ought to be run. And you have the time for yourself to now think about building a regional brand, to now think about building a global brand. But if you have to build your brand and micromanage the brand, because the human resource and everything in your organization is a part of your brand, you have to micromanage that brand. You do not have the latitude of time to focus on the growth and development and expansion of your corporate vision. So I want you to get that very clear. It is not that we are campaigning for greater benefits for employees. Though no one should have a problem with that for us to campaign for better remuneration for employees. But yes, I want them to be happier. Yes, I want them to be more productive. Yes, I want them to fulfill their dreams, hopes, and aspirations. But yes, I want your company to become one of the iconic companies that is doing business. One of the companies that we are helping to become the global thinkers and social actors and transformational leaders, the trendsetters, the dream makers in business. So I want you to think very deep about these recommendations because brand, your corporate culture must reflect how it's impacted your employees. I want it to now be designed to impact their lives at a deeper level because there is where you're going to get the sustained high performers. So I want you to think about this. Now, I would have mentioned that I know to achieve a lot of what I'm saying, you're thinking more cash flow. But I'm saying the strength of your organization is only as strong as your human resource. If you have stronger human resources who are able to effectively leverage their prefrontal cortex, which is your executive motor skills in alignment with your business growth, you will cash flow more. But we're not just leaving it for that. At Global Brand and Marketing, we can and will help you develop smart investment systems, smart investment plans, and smart investment strategies that can help your business to cash flow divorce from your traditional business portfolio. I'm not going to get into those portfolios that we're going to help you to build, but I'm saying to you, we will help you do this. We have studied the commercial financial sector, the global commercial financial sector, so we understand what is the commercial financial sector, what is the investment financial sector. We understand what is good debt cash flow. We understand how to reduce your debt financial portfolio. We understand how to maximize your cash flow. We understand how to help you to build equity and equity capital gain. So there are new financial intelligence systems that we will bring to you to help your business to grow in a way that you perhaps never thought was possible. We have spent years studying these systems, and we will bring them to you. So you can provide the incentives to your employees so your employees can truly help your organization to grow, and your organization can cash flow in a way beyond your expectations. Because you have highly motivated workforce, you have to sustain high performance. We will help you to build those systems. I want to emphasize this one a little bit. It is a fact that industries, academic institutions across the world, you do not train your human resource to self-actualize. You train your human resource to understand the content of information, a content of information that is relevant to public sector, that is relevant to private sector. And you arm them with that information so they can go to that information and function in the organization to help the organization achieve their targets. But this is what happens very often. If you have 20% of that workforce who are functioning in those environments, who truly feel joy, happiness, and excitement in doing what they're doing, you have plenty because they have been trained to internalize a context of information and apply that context of information, which is not necessarily apply or relate to them. It's like you take what happened with Jordan, the greatest basketball player in the world, went to play golf. He wasn't in his zone. He wasn't in his elements. So he could not have peaked. He wasn't in his element. Have we ever stopped to ask ourselves this question? Are we doing the same in terms of how we train and align and nurture our human resource to internalize information? Have we ever stopped to seriously ask this question? At Global Brand and Marketing, we did. And in asking ourselves that and those questions, we have come up with the answers. And based on the answers that we have come up with, and we think it is fair for everyone to ask these same questions and know these answers, we have built a unique system. So what we do, instead of just rolling out an excellent academic or executive management program, we build our program in such a way to truly help the human resources within your organization to self-actualize. And of course, we are not talking about self-actualization only and restricted to the context proposed by Abraham Maslow, who is the father of humanistic psychologists. I give tremendous kudos to him. He has started a great process. He has laid a great foundation with his hierarchy of human needs since 1942. But again, we have seen some gaps because we have recognized that self-actualization will never take place in a way that it is touching every single human resource in the organization because it is largely based on how one evolves within the organization. And say this, every organization is a pyramid. I say you're a pyramid because the fact at the top of the organization, you have less people. To the middle, you have a little bit more, but to the end, you have much more people there. So most organization, over 95% of the organization, you're a pyramid. And it's hard for people from the bottom to reach the top of that pyramid, to reach the peak of that pyramid, where we can call it self-actualization. I'm now a part of Walmart, and I'm now at the peak of Walmart. I'm now at IBM and I'm at the peak of IBM. Hardly likely, impossible for Walmart, for instance. I think they employ over 2 million people. How can 2 million people reach the point at any given one time? It's going to collapse the institution. So, what we have done, we have designed a system that allows a blanket approach to self-actualization. A blanket approach to self-actualization, where every single member of your team will self-actualize, where every member of your team will be positioned to become the global thinkers and the social actors and the transformational leaders, to become the game changers and the dream makers and the trendsetter, because we give them a content that allows them to grow and reach close to their full potential, or at least they'll feel that way. And when that is aligned to how they will be able to better position in your organization because their stress level is lower, their desire to grow and expand in alignment with more than just working for pay, but they're working now to fulfill their purpose and their passion, their gifts. Here is where you get the sustained high performers. Your corporate culture, which also it represents the internal impact that cultures have it on human resource development, is a part of your corporate brand. And I'm saying to you, if you want a cash flow in 2019, these are important tenets of human resource development and building your corporate brand and your corporate culture that must be considered if you want a cash flow as an entrepreneur and take your business, build your business with global relevance. Absolutely necessary. So I'm really happy that we have spent the time to build these new systems for you. And we are happy that we are now rolling out these systems for you. We are knocking at your door. We want you to open the door, respond to us, because we are truly committed to helping your organization to stand out and to differentiate and to build your company with global relevance, to build the brand of your company with global relevance. And remember, your brand is not only the product that you're producing, but it's every single thing that represents your organization. Everything that represents your organization. So your corporate culture must be built to reflect that. The same emphasis that we are placing on building your business strategic plan and developing your financial statements, and you're applying project management system to monitor and evaluate and control activities towards achieving the bottom line. If you want your organization to become that dream maker, that game changer, that trendsetters, we need to build those same systems, the same culture, the same strategic plan that will help the human capital, that will help your organization culture to address the dreams, hopes, and aspirations of your employees. With us, we will help to build systems that will significantly reduce absenteeism. Because our system is not just looking at providing pay to employees, we are looking at a range of health issues, a number of performance issues that will ensure that your employees are at the peak of their health, are at the peak of their self-motivation, are at the peak of their performance, and they truly feel as though extended family, and they're happy to meet their extended family. Oh, I want to sneeze there. Yeah, they're happy about all of this. Your corporate culture, we can help you to design it to reflect this. We have those performers. I can just imagine how the public is going to be talking about your firm when you adopt these principles to your corporate culture. I can just imagine how the customers are going to be more motivated to respond to you and your business. So I'm going to stop here. I attempted to give you so much more information, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hold back a little bit. The next program, I want to put a lot on your corporate brand and how to leverage it, the external aspect of your corporate brand. And this has everything now to do with your brand and how it's going to be influencing the public. And remember, your brand is your product, your service, the people in the organization, your corporate logo, everything is your brand. That relates to your company. We'll be looking at how you can better influence the public in order to cash flow your organization. Absolutely critical topics that we're going to be looking at to grow your business, to fast track and accelerate the growth of your business. All right, in the event you're joining me again, my name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the author of several books, including Billionaire Codes. And at Global Brand and Marketing, we truly want to help people to understand financial systems. You see, financial literacy goes beyond your ability to make money or maximize your disposable income. It addresses the issue of understanding the global financial system and leveraging this intelligence to create good debt cash flow, minimize debt financial portfolio while maximizing financial and equity capital gain. The understanding of the commercial financial sector and the investment financial sector are an important body of knowledge for you to have in the global landscape of financial intelligence. You see, financial intelligence can position you to build generational wealth, and financial intelligence can remove the challenge of financial struggle and the scourge of poverty. We want to help you to break all of these cycles. Big business, small business, medium-sized business, we want to really help you. All right, so I trust you would have enjoyed this podcast. Do share it within your network. Do inbox me for a free consultation. We are happy to come and reach anywhere in the world to help you build these systems and roll out these systems to truly grow your business in a way that is modern, in a way that is humane, and in a way that will help you to cash flow in a way that you have never thought possible.